Hey everyone, welcome back. So I wanted to talk to you guys about what's happening in my tank. I think I'm experiencing polyp bailout with my frog spawn. So polyp bailout is when the fleshy part of the coral comes right off of the skeleton. And in my case, I think it was triggered by a temperature swing. Or another possibility is that I know that my clowns love to swim in this frog spawn, and it hasn't really seemed to mind it. It's continued to grow and split, and it hasn't retracted at all. But it's another possibility that maybe it was just getting tired of my clowns. This is an original picture of my frog spawn and what it looked like in April of 2019 with its two heads. Now, as you guys may know from watching one of my previous videos, I had a big temperature swing and I ended up replacing my heaters, and I bought an Inkbird Smart temperature controller to try to prevent that. And for the most part, it's been working really well, but I did experience a hiccup recently. This temperature controller has a feature called continuous heating time. So if the aquarium water doesn't reach a specified temperature within a specified time interval, the temperature controller will shut the heaters off. In my particular case, I think an issue that I was running into is that it is cold here in the Northeast US, and my house can get pretty cold, especially overnight or when we're away at work. And so I believe that the heater does stay on for longer intervals of time because it's working hard to keep the aquarium warm. And so my settings were set to 12 hours, and apparently the heater was on for a continuous 12 hours and it shut off. Unfortunately, it did this in the middle of the night when I was asleep. This is what the Inkbird temperature trend graph looks like in the app. So it dipped down all the way to 73 degrees. Little by little, more of the fleshy polyp has been coming off the skeleton of this frog spawn. I'm going to post a link to Tidal Gardens where Than talks about polyp bailout, and it's probably the best YouTube video I've seen describing the process. But I do think that's what's happening here. I think that this frog spawn became stressed, whether it was from the temperature swing or my clowns, and now the polyp is trying to detach completely from the skeleton. So I have a few options. The likelihood is whatever I pick, I'm likely going to lose this head. I could pull the whole frog spawn out and put it in a quarantine tank. I could frag that affected head off, or I could just hang tight, wait, and see what happens. The flesh might completely come off and end up in some separate part of my tank. I mean, I think that the likelihood is it'll die there, or maybe I'll get lucky and it'll form a new base. If you guys have any thoughts, tips, or comments, if you've experienced this before, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Happy reefing.